As governments worldwide scramble to counter the impact of the United States' new Liberation Day tariffs, global consumers are also taking a stand. Social media platforms and search engines have seen a surge in Boycott USA campaigns, with users actively sharing tips on which American brands and products to avoid. Even prior to Donald Trump's broad tariff announcement, his policies had already sparked backlash. Protesters targeted his golf resorts in Doonbeg, Ireland, and Turnberry, Scotland. In Canada, Trump's remarks about possibly asserting control over the country prompted a sharp decline in purchases of U.S.-made goods. Elon Musk, a key Trump ally, has faced mounting protests at Tesla showrooms in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Sales of Tesla vehicles have slumped dramatically, particularly in countries with strong electric vehicle markets, such as Australia and several EU nations. The backlash against Trump-associated brands like Tesla is part of a larger movement to reject U.S. products as a form of protest against American policies. In Denmark, the country's largest retailer, Salling Group, has taken a bold step, placing a black star on the price tags of all European-made items to help shoppers easily distinguish and avoid American goods. In Canada, shoppers have adopted a creative form of protest by flipping over U.S. products on store shelves, making them easier for others to spot and avoid. To support this movement, consumers are also using an app called Maple Scan, which scans product barcodes to reveal whether an item is genuinely Canadian or owned by an American parent company. Many brands that appear local are, in fact, owned by U.S. companies, making it difficult for shoppers to draw a clear line between domestic and American goods. This issue isn't unique to Canada. In the UK, for example, few consumers realize that iconic British names like Cadbury, Waterstones, and Boots are actually under American ownership. The global economy is so deeply interconnected that efforts to reject U.S. brands can unintentionally harm local businesses and workers. This same dilemma appears in online communities, such as Danish and Canadian Facebook groups, where users share suggestions for swapping out American-made goods for local alternatives. Yet even these platforms are American-owned, underscoring the reach of U.S. tech giants in everyday life. Indeed, much of modern consumer activity is tethered to American infrastructure. European companies rely on U.S.-based cloud services and software, while consumers use American social media for communication. Even payment systems, like Visa, MasterCard, and Apple Pay, divert a portion of each transaction back to the U.S. In cases where WorldPay is used, the cut may be even higher. These layers of U.S. involvement in global retail reveal just how embedded American companies are in the consumer experience. Ultimately, the idea of a total boycott on U.S. business is not just impractical, it's nearly impossible. Not all American branding is subtle. Beyond high-profile companies directly tied to the U.S. administration, like Trump's golf resorts and Tesla, some brands are proudly and unmistakably American. Household names such as Coca-Cola, Starbucks, and Budweiser wear their U.S. identity openly, often using it as a marketing strength. Because of this, consumers may increasingly focus their resistance on these overtly American brands. In doing so, they may choose to sidestep the broader, more complex issues of ownership and supply chains that make total boycotts difficult. Such episodes underscore how deeply politics and consumer behavior are intertwined. Brands and corporations do not exist outside of political contexts. They often sit right at the heart of them. The current global reaction to U.S. policies reflects this ongoing dynamic, showing that consumers can exert political pressure not only at the ballot box, but also through their wallets. Donald Trump's Liberation Day tariffs, surprisingly steep even by aggressive trade standards, are a clear attempt to project American dominance. But the unintended consequence may be the rise of a coordinated global consumer response. For U.S. corporations and Trump alike, the coming wave of consumer activism could prove more powerful than expected.